What's up everybody, my name is Kelvar and today we're going to be going over patch 7.6 and what effect it might have on solo queue. The first big change is obviously the Galio rework, but I'm not going to be covering him in this video since I already made one about it. If you haven't seen it, the link is in the description below. But starting off with the patch notes, we're going to touch upon everybody's favorite trash can, Aatrox. Now Riot gave Aatrox a small buff in the middle of 7.5, but for 7.6 they changed his passive Blood Rush. It's now called Hellbent, and after reviving he still maintains his full blood well. They also made it so that the third hit proc he gets from his Bloodthirst doesn't reset on proccing his passive. This basically means that Aatrox is going to be able to continue to do damage after reviving rather than being useless and dying immediately again. Altogether, Aatrox is still in a pretty rough spot, and I don't think this is going to change anything about his playstyle or pick percentage. But moving on to Chogath. Chogath got a small change last patch, buffing his ultimate ability Feast. This patch, they buff it again, giving an extra 10 or 20 bonus health per stack at ranks 2 and 3, and also up the amount of stacking you can get from minions to 6. It looks like Riot are trying to help Chogath scale better into the late game, but he still has a Darius problem where you get kited and you're pretty much useless other than his silence. Honestly, I like Chogath, as his Feast makes for a ludicrous health pool as they infinitely stack and no longer fall off. However, I still don't think this is going to change much about his pick percentage. Next we have Fiddlesticks. Riot buffed the range of his Fear by 50 units, which is actually pretty decent. They also made it so that if a target dies before his drain completes, then the remaining time of the channel is applied as cooldown reduction. Pretty much, if a jungle camp dies within the channel time, then you get the cooldown reduced. It's a pretty nice change to jungle Fiddlesticks and actually helps a bit of his problem in my opinion. I think this might help people play Fiddlesticks as it'll help him get through the early game faster, but it's not going to be a massive change so that he's consistently played. And next we have possibly the most important change in patch 7.6. Alright, moving on, we have everybody's favorite prehistoric Yordle, Gnar. Based on this, it looks like Riot is trying to help Gnar while he's in mini form, since most of the game is spent in mini. They buffed its health regen and its health regen growth while nerfing megas. This boils down to Gnar having base health regen of 4.5 health per 5 seconds and a health regen growth of 1.75 health per 5 seconds. I think this will help Gnar manage in lane easier, as I don't think he's going to have to rely on transforming for sustain anymore, as he has the same regen in both forms. Also, in Mega form, they made it so that if you cast E, you can also queue up another ability during the cast time. Another quality of life buff for Gnar, which is actually really nice. This might actually help Gnar, and I think we may see him again in solo queue, which is pretty cool because I love the champion. A good Gnar is really fun to have. That is, if he's on your team. Moving on to the cannonballs of League of Legends herself, Misfortune. Riot made some quality of life changes after casting Double Up and Make It Rain, but what's really important here is that they buffed ADMF. Double Up's damage was buffed from 2280 to 2200 and now scales 1-to-1 with attack damage up from 0.85. The range of it is also affected by things like Rapid Fire Cannon as well. In short, Riot buffed AD Misfortune. They didn't nerf anything, they just buffed her again. Honestly, I'm not sure what Riot's plan for MF is, but it looks like they are really pushing for her to be an AD carry rather than a support. Anyways, moving on to Oriana. They made a small change to her where if a teammate dies with her ball, then it drops in place rather than returning to Oriana. Honestly, I'm not sure if this is a buff or a nerf. It could be either depending upon the situation, but I guess we're going to have to see in the LCS. And now for Quinn. When you respawn, you do so as Valor, so you don't have to recast it upon respawn, so that's nice, I guess. Like Misfortune, it looks like Riot wants Quinn to fit the role of an AD carrier rather than a top lane assassin. They literally doubled her W passive attack speed when proccing her passive at max rank, up from 40 to 80%. This might actually make it worth to rank this ability up second, but I haven't done any math on it yet. They also nerfed her ultimate's damage down from 100 to 40. That is pretty dang big. All in all, I still think she's going to be a pretty niche pick like she currently is, however, I don't think she's going to be picked as an AD carry like these changes seem to want. And finally, Varus. They slightly buffed him. They reverted the change they implemented last patch, and now his Q just flat reduces its cooldown by 4% if it procs a Blight stack. Not huge, but it's worth noting. Also, Riot buffed Double Lift. That's right, they nerfed the red buff MR per level. And then the final change is to Warlord's Bloodlust. The sustain you get from it is no longer 1 to 50% lifesteal, but rather equal to 3 to 40% of your total attack damage, and it has the ability to critically heal you. This means that the heal is based solely on your own damage. This could be a huge change for ADCs, but we're going to have to see. That's about it for patch 7.6. If you enjoyed this video, I would very much appreciate it if you click that little bell and subscribe to be alerted of when I upload new videos. I hope you all learned something and feel ready to run through patch 7.6. Like always, I wish you all the best of luck in solo queue, and I hope to see you in the next video.